The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area.
I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, Poppy Tucker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. Howdy.
Hello, Miss Peg.
Hello. Alfred Richard, movie critic for WWL-TV. Hello.
Hello, Peggy.
Alan Smason, direct from Broadway, like yesterday, editor of the Crescent City Jewish News and Theater Criticism.com. Hello. And Jenny Hamilton. It's great to see her again, executive director of the New Orleans Ballet Association, previewing a brand new season. And I must tell everybody, just by the way, if you see something a little weird on my face these days, I did have to have a little bit of skin cancer removed thanks to the Mohs procedure at Oxnard, but I couldn't be more pleased. It's all going to be fine. Anyway, moving over, a very special Spanish dish you don't see too often.
A very special Spanish dish in a very special place with Spanish heritage here in our very French city, New Orleans. And we're talking about Dickie Brennan's restaurant, Tableau, which of course back in 1797 was the residence of the last Spanish governor of New Orleans. And they're celebrating that special Spanish heritage with a paella dinner, the most delicious way to celebrate anything Spanish. It's next Thursday, July 18th. It's a $50 dinner. The fun starts at 6 o'clock. There's a Spanish sort of cocktail pairing. There's Spanish wines that are going to be available by the glass and the bottle, but it's a two-course meal. You can't miss the it is for $50. The show is going to be remarkable because they're going to bring out the giant paella pan, of course, made with Louisiana seafood. And dessert is a very special burnt Basque cheesecake. And yes, the top is brown. That's why it's called the burnt Basque cheesecake. And while we're talking about delicious fun, it is time for the annual G.W. Finn's Feast. Now, this is a deal Sunday through Thursday at G.W. Finn's throughout the month of July. 3 courses for $49. You cannot eat that at G.W. Finn's normally. And we're talking a delicious menu with choices like tuna tartare, lobster bisque, Parmesan crusted sheep's head, swordfish bolognese, and you can also, if you're not a seafood eater, I don't know what you're doing at G.W. Finn's, but there's a Duroc pork chop on the menu, and the desserts are so delicious always at G.W. Finn's. A cornmeal blondie with peaches and mascarpone, and I would really like to have that almond fig upside down cake. All that deliciousness, 3 courses, $49, G.W. Finn's. The reservations are going to fill up quick. Make them now. And then talk about something delicious that's coming up. Are you missing Margie's Grill over there on Broad Street? I'm always missing the food at Margie's. Well, July 22nd to 25th, the former chef owner, Marcus Jacobs, who of course is now the moving force behind Porgy Seafood, he's hosting a pop-up of Margie's Grill. It's 3 courses for $75, and it's everything you loved at Margie's. Honey butter yardbird, double spicy som tom, their cornbread, the sweet potatoes with tons of chili butter to slather all over everything. So make those reservations because Porgy's is a pretty tiny little place, and that's going to fill up quick too. And then Peggy. It's
Yes.
time to talk about Peggy and Errol's favorite summer special. It's got started this week, and it wouldn't surprise me a bit if they have already been to Ralph's on the Park once already for 3 apps and a glass of wine
A deal.
for $38. It's one of the best deals of the summer.
Yes.
The kind of things you have to choose from, shrimp sliders, oh, the Creole tomato and burrata salad with basil pistachio pesto. There's the seafood etouffee risotto this year. The classics, oyster rock tartine. There's a Denver steak with the blue cheese compound butter. There's a charcuterie board to choose from. You can have summer vegetable tempura. And of course, those classic dishes from Ralph's, turtle soup, shrimp scully. How about a duck crepe and lots of fine wines to choose from? You have choices, lots of choices. And I suspect we'll see you there soon, huh, Peg?
Yes, real soon. Thank you, Poppy. And moving over to Alfred, some local classic films that you actually get to go to the movies for, huh?
That's right. And I know the director had to turn down my microphone as Poppy's describing all this food because you can hear the roar. All right. Usually I like to talk about what's being done in production around the area, but of course we're in the middle of New Orleans summer, and there are only a couple of productions, one being Grilled Cheese, in which we talked about, starring Michael B. Jordan, and another one called The Core, and it's a film about Marines, so you're out in the heat. So let's try to beat the heat instead this week with some ideas, especially, let's go to one of our favorite places, the Britannia Uptown, and the Rene Brunet Classic Film Series. Of course, Rene was a longtime manager and owner
Wonderful
of
man.
the Britannia Theater. Now his son is taken over there.
Robert.
And so you have these wonderful classic films. And this week, one of the films is from the master of suspense, Alfred Hitchcock. Montgomery Clift stars as a priest in I Confess. It is available Sunday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. And also you'll hear the music of Phil Melancon playing before the performances. So you get to have a little music on the Mighty Wurlitzer there in the Britannia. So you get to see a classic film there. Now, if you want to deal with your kids, and I know as a kid, when I was growing up, there was something called the Pepsi movie series, where if you collected 12 bottle caps, you could go see a movie at the Carver or the Napoleon Theater. Ain't there no more. But that's how I learned to get my love of movies. And you can have your kids and others start their love of movies with the Britannia Uptown Kids series, where there are certain movies that come through that parents and kids can enjoy. And they also have special deals, especially about food and items that you can get there. I mean, where else are you going to get a soft drink and popcorn and to see a movie for under $10?
Huh?
You're not going to find that anywhere. And this week, we have hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here with the Great Muppet Caper. And so the Great Muppet Caper, of course, the Muppets go to London. Not the Muppets Go to Broadway. That's another movie there. But, of course, you'll find that at the Britannia Uptown. Now, the Uptown series every Saturday and Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Now, if you are fun about going to the Canal Place, there's a Britannia Canal Place Kids Camp. So, again, if you're downtown, you can see the movies. If you're uptown, you can see the movies. But Britannia is doing a very good job with their Britannia Kids Movie Camp. And this week, they're going to have the Little Rascals as starting their, so again, $3 tickets.
Wow.
Again, $3 tickets. You can take a whole family of 4 for under $20. Now, as for the ice cream and everything else the kids are going to ask, and my great-great-nieces would ask for, I need an SBA loan. But I have to deal with that. But if you are not on either side, if you're on the North Shore, we actually have some fun for you, too. Movie Tavern in Covington. They will have series of things. Number one, they have $7 movie tickets for kids and seniors. And so they also have the Dream Tavern. The Dream Tavern. No, I'm sorry, the Dream Passport at the Tavern. That's something else for, I think, the 610 Stompers. But $7 tickets for kids and seniors, and it's before 4 p.m.
And that's in Covington.
That's in Covington, over on the North Shore. And again, the Dream Family series, a whole series of films going all the way until August 29th with special prices. Again, $3.50 for popcorn, $3 for a hot dog, and $3.50 for soft drinks. So again, look at moviepictures.com or the theater chain there, and you'll find all these wonderful ideas.
Marcus Theaters. Yeah, theaters.com. Great. Thank you so much. And moving over to Shall We Dance?
Shall we dance?
We have a new season. Now, the tickets will be on sale in a few weeks, right?
The subscriptions are on sale right now.
Okay, good.
And single tickets will go on sale August the 15th.
Well, tell us, who can we expect?
Well, Peggy, this year we have a quintessentially American season of dance. We're going to open up with 4 of the nation's leading dance companies, and we'll open on October the 19th with Houston Ballet. Of course, it's one of the country's premier ballet companies, actually the 4th largest ballet company now in the country. This is really the highly anticipated return of this company. It was scheduled to take place in March of 2020 and, of course, had to be canceled due to COVID, and it's taken us 4 years to get them back to New Orleans. They're going to open the program with George Balanchine's Tchaikovsky Pas de Deux, and, of course, this is described by the New York City Ballet as an 8-minute display of ballet bravura and technique. What you're seeing on screen right now is Stanton Welch's Velocity, which will close this program. This was originally created for the Australian Ballet in 2003 and is really a study in speed and characterized by rapid precision. They will also have a piece by Azure Barton, a choreographer that was originally created for Mikhail Baryshnikov in 2006, and it will be danced by 13 men. It's a fabulous, fabulous evening of 4 very distinctive works by Houston Ballet. Then we go on to November the 16th with America's original jazz dance company, the Giordano Dance Chicago, and this will be the New Orleans debut. They have never been to New Orleans before. Jazz dance company in the city of jazz. So it's time for this company to be here. They actually are now celebrating over 60 years, and they are really iconic, and their imprint on the art form is profound, with worldwide performances in over 1,300 cities. So this high-flying, very entertaining, passionate evening will feature really fabulously fun works featuring the premiere of Gershwin B by Emmy Award-winning And So You Think You Can Dance choreographer Al Blackstone, and a tribute to the music of Gershwin.
Nice.
Then we move on February the 1st to Ballet Hispanico. And of course, we may remember the world premiere of Doña Perón in March of 2012 to 2022 here. Very celebrated, and they're going to bring their full-length production of Carmen. Ooh. This is a very spectacularly inspired Picasso contemporary take on Bizet's beloved classic. Very physically charged choreography, fusing contemporary dance with nods to the Spanish Paso Doble and flamenco. And the Chicago Sun-Times calls it stunningly designed, riveting from start to finish. And then we close the season with none other than our most requested company of every company that we bring into town, the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, one of America's absolutely most famous. They have performed in theaters in 71 countries to over 25 million people. So we're very, very honored and proud to bring them back. They will perform March 21st and 22nd. The Friday evening program on March 21st will feature Revelations. It will be a completely different program on the Saturday, March 22nd. And as the New York Times states, nothing prepares you for the totality of Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater.
Just the photo alone. It's
just
kind
the photos alone. Nothing
You know.
prepares you. So we're very, very proud and honored to bring these 4 companies to New Orleans.
And all at the Mahalia Jackson. Easy to park, inexpensive to park. Nobadance.com for all the details. Congratulations. How long have you been at the ballet?
I was an intern in 1990.
Wow. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
Kudos to you. That's wonderful. And as we said, direct from Broadway.
Yes,
Mr. Allen.
but I had to stop off at Broadway because that's where the Tulane campus is, and that's where I was last night. Last night, in the second act of Cole Porter's Anything Goes, being put on by Summer Lyric at Tulane, Leslie Clavery led the cast in one of the greatest renditions of Blow Gabriel Blow I'd ever seen. In fact, she brought down the house with the cast. The show could not proceed for several moments thereafter as they all composed themselves. Thunderous applause. The key to Anything Goes is Reno Sweeney. That's the role that Leslie embodies, singing You're the Top, and the title song, of course, in the first act. Her moves, her acting, and of course her powerful singing all make her the star to be seen. But more than that, she's joined on stage by her brilliant comic and award-winning husband, Keith Lavery, as Lord Evelyn Oakley. Together, the two are, if you will, the Alfred Lunt and Lynn Fontanne, or the Garson Kanin and Ruth Garden of New Orleans. Also on the bill opposite Leslie is Lynx Murphy, who plays gangster Moonface Martin. Their duet of Friendship was also a highlight of the night. And for Ken Good, who is in his directorial debut for Summer Lyric, it's all about the cast. One of the best our city has produced as a rapidly emerging artist is Emily Bagwell. They're seen in the middle. She plays Irma Latour, a girl who's crazy about men and who drives men crazy. This is her final role in New Orleans before she leaves, unfortunately, for Georgia to take up residence there. We will miss her, but we hope she comes back soon. Sean Patterson is featured as Elijah Whitney. That's the businessman and employee of Billy Crocker, played by Patrick Cragen. At the beginning of Act 1, it's Reno who's really in love with him, but, you know, he's in love with Hope, who you see here. Hope Harcourt, played by Stephanie Aubrey, who sings Goodbye Little Dream in Act 2 with Melissa Marshall, who returns to Summer Lyric stage to play her mother, Evangeline. Now, there's fantastic dancing, choreography by the incredible Jeanne Buisson. Costumes are out of this world by Casey Thomasy. Run to see this show before it closes on Sunday. And Ken did a very good job on this show. I hope he'll have a chance to direct again very soon. A shout out also to Lauren Hart for the wigs, Michael Paternostro as the music director, and to C. Leonard Raybon, of course, as the conductor. Anything Goes. At Anything Goes, you will love it. It closes this Sunday, so I don't want to hear about it from you if you miss it now. All right, just down the hallway, though, from Dixon Hall Annex, is the New Orleans Shakespeare Festival's production, their latest big cast of Julius Caesar. It's going to be opening this week, so you can see several of our favorite performers in this production photo, several cross-gender casting roles in which women play several of the roles of the men. The show's directed by Salvador Menino, and it has its opening, as I mentioned, tomorrow night. Also, Peggy, it's that time of year when the eager, starry-eyed hopefuls compete to become the next Stage Door Idol. And here's the reigning Stage Door Idol from 2023, Whitney Mixon.
Yeah.
The preliminary competitions will continue. They started last night on Tuesday evenings at BB Stage Door Canteen. You'll see them with the finals on August the 12th. Noah Lanier won his competition on Tuesday, and he'll advance to the finals. And again, those of you who have not been, here I am. That was the winner, Noah there. Here I am with at least Banu Gibson and Blake Cohealy from last year's competition. You can see me again next week, week 2, at 6:30 on Tuesday, July the 16th. Go check it all out again. I urge you all to go. It's a lot of fun, and the finals on, again, as I mentioned, the second week in August. Meanwhile, across town at Rivertown Theaters, they're presenting their annual summer production. This year, it's Mean Girls, the high school edition, with 2 separate casts playing the roles. There is some limited seating right now. There will be overflow seating available as well, but you want to check it out again. They're starting off this weekend. It runs from the 12th to the 21st. Shows at 7:30 nightly on Fridays and Saturdays, and matinee this weekend at 1 p.m. and then Sunday on the 14th and the 21st at 2 p.m. And then there's a show on Wednesday night coming up on July the 18th, 7:30. Again, check it all out at Rivertown Theaters. And Peggy, one of my favorite times of the year, and Poppy, I know it's one of yours as well, it's when Tales of the Cocktail happens. That's always in July, and this year's activities will take place at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in the 900 block of Canal Street. There are tastings and seminars to be found. You can check it all out at their website, which is talesofthecocktail.org. And speaking of cocktails, I just returned, as you mentioned, from another spectacular trip to Broadway, where I enjoyed a spectacular Cosmopolitan at Sardi's. Eat your heart out, Carrie Bradshaw. I needed to catch a number of shows I had missed back in May and to review a new show that opens actually tonight on Off-Broadway, if you will. Of course, the best musical is The Outsiders, with special effects and fight scenes that you would not believe. Unfortunately, when I saw it, 2 of the players who perform as the brothers, Pony Boy and Daryl Curtis, were out last Saturday night. But despite that, the show was very good. And one of the 2 understudies is right there for Pony Boy. That's Josh Strobel, who I caught in between performances. Monday night, I invited my friend Stuart Zagnet, who played the wicked wizard, if you will, in 2016. And we're good friends. He joined me for the premiere of Empire, the show that opens tonight. It's directed by good friend Katie Huffman. It's about the story of the building of the Empire State Building and its construction that took place just a couple of years in the early 1930s. I also spent some nights seeing Cabaret. There's 54 Below. That's Jason Graw and Liz Calloway. Jason Graw performing along with Liz for the first time in some time. He lives out on the West Coast. She's on the East Coast, so it's difficult to get them together all the time. And then, of course, Cabaret superstar Karen Akers, who you'll see here, stopped by to say hello to Jason, and our own music director, Alex Ryback, who played the piano at the show. And finally, I got to see the remarkably gifted Linda Eder. That's a picture I took of the show. She's a performer you may remember back 27 years ago, starred in Jekyll and Hyde. She still has an exquisite voice, and she was absolutely captivating. She is still able to belt them out like nobody else. She's really wonderful.
All right. Thank you so much, Alan. Whew, you've been busy. WYES's next season of Good Taste Dinner is Thursday at Saffron Nola Restaurant. Here is Dana Hansel with a preview.
Hi, I'm Dana Hansel with WYES, and we're so excited about the upcoming Saffron Dinner that's on Thursday, July 18th. And boy, what a fabulous place, Saffron, where they were nominated by James Beard for the Best New Restaurant in 2018, and now our chef is currently nominated for the Best Chef South 2023. So congratulations on that.
Thank you
It's a
so
big
much.
deal. So we have this great dinner with fabulous wines, and I know you have some of the best wines in the city. So could you tell us a little bit about your menu?
Well, yes, first of all, thank you so much for including us in this, and we are so honored to be a part of this beautiful endeavor. Since we are a seafood town, we thought we'll focus a lot on seafood as well.
Okay.
And we'll be serving our masala fish croquettes. We'll be our New Orleans generated ginger tomato remoulade sauce. Will be a first course, and second course will be our butternut squash, which has been so well received by the community here, and we're going to roast it in our clay oven, and then we serve it with our sauces with chimichurri and hung yogurt dressing. Then the next course will be our crispy shrimp, which is from a northern Indian region, and it'll be served with a coconut and mustard flavored curry sauce at the bottom.
Sounds delicious.
The final course, we thought we'll do a heavier meat. We do a delicious beef brisket curry, which is served with a cream of wheat porridge, which is called upma. And it'll be accompanied by our curried spinach and cheese, and our chili naan and plain naan and truffle naans, and which are very popular breads in house, and also a very delicious eggplant, which is smothered in peanuts and coconut.
You're making me really hungry, Chef. And each of those are paired with fabulous wine. So please go to wyes.org/events and get those tickets because they're selling fast. Thank you.
The dinner has sold out, but you can put your name on a wait list and go to wyes.org/events. The last special dinner is July 30th at Pelican Club, and some seats are still available for that. Before we move on to picks, we wanted to mention the passing of former New Orleans Council Member at Large, Jackie Clarkson. While her contributions are vast, her early support of the National World War II Museum and her successful efforts to help save Le Petit Theater a few years back are especially notable. She was also devoted to preserving the quarter, truly a shining and guiding light. We also wanted to note the passing of Ellen Hardiman, a pioneering producer at WWL-TV in the 1950s and 60s, including on the Midday Show. And as you can see in this wonderful photo with our beloved Al Shea and Terry Fletridge. Ellen was also a fixture in the local theater scene and the dance community as a dancer, a teacher, and dancing school owner. And now for our picks. Poppy.
It's time for Crescent Care's biggest annual fundraiser, Dine Out for Life. Make your reservations now. It's Thursday, July the 25th, and it's in restaurants all over the place. So check out the website.
All right, Alan.
Well, several local productions are being done of Six, which is available as a high school version. The Cutting Edge Theater, which is on the North Shore in Slidell, they're presenting their version tomorrow night and then next Friday and Saturday nights. So go check that out. Six. That's the story, of course, of the 6 wives of Henry VIII. And I'll see you at the theater.
All right, look at them. Wow, they're gorgeous, aren't they? Gee whiz. And Alfred.
I have a great deal from movies, of course. And I have movie posters from Star Wars, even Ed Wood and Plan 9 from Outer Space in my place. So please support the Louisiana Movie Poster Virtual Museum, in which there will be a movie posters online auction through July 15th. Go to moviepostersarchive.org and get one for your place.
All right, thank you. Now, my picks, the deadline to submit artwork for the New Orleans Art Association's National Juried Show is July 31st. Go to noartassoc.org for more information. The show will actually open October 5th. Patrice McMurray is having a mini estate sale on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 949 Harding Drive, right off Moss Street, including an antique bell, typewriter, and other collectibles. The Faubourg St. John Bastille Day party is on Saturday at Ponce de Leon and Esplanade from 5 to 9. And on Saturday at 5:30, there is the Death by Chocolate, Not Breast Cancer fundraiser. Go to support innovative research at the Tulane Cancer Center. And this chocolate and champagne tasting event will be held at the Jacob Shane and Son Funeral Home Mansion on Canal Street. Go to crewtopink.org for tickets. Singer-songwriter Kristen Diablo is in concert Sunday at 6 at BK House, bkhouse.org for details. And guitarist John Rankin and Paul Sanchez perform Wednesday night at 7 at Deutsches Haus. Get there early, and there's food available. And due to PBS coverage of the Republican convention, we'll be back in 2 weeks on July 25th. Thank you all so much, and thank you for watching. Good night.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area.